Hey Future Pros, today we are on Overpass. And the smoke we have for you today will block off the stairs on the A side. Combine this with a bank smoke and you can take the A side like a breeze. Line yourself up along this bench. Aim just below the top right corner of this side, then with all your strength throw the smoke. Stairs will now be perfectly covered.
Right, so now you have Rush helping become that future pro, but what if you wanted to put your skills to the test? Well, the Mountain Dew League is giving amateurs a direct path into the CSGO Pro League, and you can find out all about it over at esca.net/MDL. Now, coming up is North versus Astralis, and Device is back in action, once again restoring the Danish powerhouses to their former lineup. However, North are coming in on a hot streak, crushing their opponents in the ECS Development League, and apparently they feel ready to bring that streak into the Pro League. And now, for all the info and some more thoughts from our analysts about that, it's over to the desk.
Thanks, Mitch. Yes, welcome back. Second matchup. It's the hot match of the week. It is North taking on Astralis. And North may have done well in the developmental league of ECS, but now they're facing off against Astralis. Best team in the world. Kicked Henry off the desk. We've got Sponge still. We've got Pansy with us as well, with her swear jar.
I do need to fill
She's taking my 10 euros out so she could.
It's not 10. You didn't put money in this?
We did.
I did.
But I gave it back to him.
Wow, way to give to charity, guys.
Chad hates charity.
That's disgusting.
That's what this
tells us. But yes, this is now going to be tougher for North than what we've seen out of them recently. This is now, you know, the big time. This is Astralis, winners of the major. They just won Katowice as well. This is going to be massive.
It's an interesting matchup for sure. You know, this domestic rivalry, I've said in the past that I don't think it necessarily plays a role here because they are playing on such a large scale nowadays, you know. It's not like where you're attending local LANs with your domestic rivals all the time. That is something that happens very seldomly. But these teams, you know, they do play each other somewhat regularly, and there are similarities in the way that they approach the game. And there is a bit of knowledge, obviously, on how they like to play, and they would talk. So there's a little bit of info there. In terms of, you know, vying for the #1 spot, I think Astralis is still the best Danish team for sure. But North, you know, late last year, they were looking at it as a squad who could be challenging them for that, and it'd be interesting to see if they can carry some of that ECS Development League form across to this.
Yeah, and the weird thing is, officially, I guess you could put it, because they do play, obviously they'll prac a hell of a lot, they do play, you know, unofficially, right? But if you look at it in official games, they haven't actually met this year yet, not once. So it's quite interesting that they've managed to avoid each other. Both had good streaks recently as well, both hitting their own highs. I think, obviously, Astralis does shadow North's, but they've had a relatively successful time with this lineup now coming together. So, again, it'll be interesting to see them actually finally facing off on two very interesting maps as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is there a little bit of disappointment with North? I don't know if I'm the only one who feels this, but I always feel like there is some level of underperformance from the North side, because on paper, this roster looks stacked. And, you know, they had that brilliant win at Epicenter, but after that, they had nothing for the rest of the year. And even this year, they just feel like, you know, a couple steps forward, we just saw them get blown out by Mouse Sports just the other day, or last week, I believe it was.
Yeah, I think what's impressive to me is like how well they adapted to the map pool, you know, when we saw Nuke come in and that kind of thing. But there is a lot of firepower on this team, but AZ is new. And I'm usually one who's saying, you know, these teams are always going to be good, just give them time, this, that, and the other. Yeah. But I think the most exciting thing about this team is the config and the Magus Boy combo. Probably one of the best duos we've got in Counter-Strike at the moment. And sure, you can say you're disappointed in some of their results, but they're still currently a top 5 team in the world.
I'd also say swings and roundabouts of CS. They had that big turn-up when MSL finally had the firepower to work with Cajun B coming in, I guess. And, you know, he was a very structured in-game leader, right? People then had to take notice of how he was playing at Mirage. Was such a big pocket pick for them for such a long time. Came out, they have such beautiful ways of playing. And then you look kind of further into how they play. You know, now you've got the firepower of AZ coming on board. So hopefully they get a little bit of a resurgence back again, where you get not only MSL kind of pulling the strings, but then you get that little bit of a punch to kind of finish it off, as well as obviously that config Magus combo that is just ridiculous on occasion.
Yeah, is there anything to be worried about in terms of Astralis in this matchup, with Device just coming back, just, you know, had his medical issues coming into play, but now he's back in the roster, said he's feeling good. Is there any worry there that there might be some kind of maybe a little bit rust he's got to shake loose, maybe a slow start to the game?
I don't think so. I think they'll probably be playing a lot of Counter-Strike. There's no reason for them to be rusty in terms of an online match. You play with a lot more confidence when you play online. You're in your home environment. You obviously feel a lot calmer, I suppose, is a way to look at it. And I don't think we're going to see any issues because he missed a game. you know, having Zonic step in was pretty interesting. And I think it's
He was sick, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think
It was nuts.
I think sometimes it's good to make sure that you're playing like the rank S or different mix pugs that you can, because it means that you get to play different spots to what you do in a team. So maybe having Zonic come in, people could have played with a bit more freedom. I know that, you know, they weren't successful in those matches, but to get to do that, yeah, to get to do that in certain environments is a positive thing. It helps you focus on the way you actually approach the game.
Yeah, well, okay, so now, I mean, Lauren, you kind of alluded to it. The first map we have coming up in the series is going to be Overpass between these two. And, I mean, there's something about Danish in-game leaders in Overpass where I feel like most Danish teams have a very, very solid way of playing this map.
Oh, we know Chad has already highlighted a lot of what Astralis have in the bag, but North certainly have it in their pocket as well. Very, very diligent at what they do. They did have that weird loss to, I think it was Tengri they actually lost to in that development league, which was a bit of like a weird result in comparison to all the others. But outside of that, they're also just as strong as having it in their map pool. So.
Chad, I know you just released the debut of your new YouTube series, Just the Tip.
Yes.
I would like to see some of that tip. Can you let us know what...
I don't have that.
Well, I know that video specifically,
but I have a tip.
I just want to know about what you think of these Astralis B executes.
Oh, God.
Executes out of the bomb sites.
With those executes, they're very powerful, but it's about when you use them as opposed to just having them in the bank. The one that they do have is very... you need to time it well. And if North want to keep that sewer/water control, whatever you want to call it, it's going to make it very difficult for them to do that execute. If anybody dies, they lose a key element and they're not going to be able to pull it off. But the thing is, if you're willing to do that, there's a mix-up that Astralis throw in where Kirby just goes hyper-aggressive straight up to Sandbag and takes a duel because people are expecting them to take that slow pace. So that's something that North need to be, you know, expecting that they might just come out guns blazing from time to time to keep them honest.
And now, I mean, we're going to stick with you and we'll keep it tactical. Okay. You do have a video here for these teams on this map.
So this isn't so much like a tactic, but this is just watching Magus, and he plays with Cajun and occasionally MSO. His aggression to this party and playground area is, you know, relentless. The way that they do it, if you're a team posturing and doing normal defaults where you take that playground control, you're going to be met with Magus, who likes to push up, you know, time and time again. This one right here, I believe it is, he pushes all the way through the smoke. They're not going to expect it, pushes up, sits behind the bench, and then you've got Cajun at party behind him with the AWP covering the playground exit. And you're never really clearing that area. It's very difficult to get on top of, and it also slows you down. It means you're going to have to dedicate more resources to clearing certain zones, and it's just constant the way that he plays this position, and no one else really does it like him.
Yeah, I mean, this is now what we're gonna have to see Astralis, you know, be able to handle. Are they going to be prepared for that? Like we've mentioned, that these two teams probably play each other very frequently in practice. This
here is all in one match against Flipside. So that's like at least 5 rounds where he's just gone, well, I'm going to run at you, and I'm going to make it very difficult for you to get out of this part of the map.
And Flipside also plays that very passive style, very slow start that's designed to prevent that kind of aggression. So even still going right into it.
Astralis have the default as well, where they like to send 3 players over towards that section of the map. You have Device there with the AWP, and I believe it's Dupree and
Kirby,
and I think Glaive goes connector.
Some of those fantasy notes coming into play.
Yeah, really, the spreadsheet's really working out for you now.
Yeah.
But they're gonna know that's coming for them, right? And it's the way that you deal with that, it's the flashes you use and the angles you check. So maybe Flipside didn't do their homework as well as what I assume Astralis will have.
Yeah, the one thing I'd say about Astralis is they have a very good mental idea of who they're facing and what they have to bring or what works for them. Now, whether or not you can debate it, if it's actually the right idea about the team, obviously people have their own aspects towards it, but the way they approach certain teams changes. They have small variations. You've got to hope they'll be aware of what Magic can be like. And I'm quite interested to see the rifle duos, right? You've got some incredibly strong riflers now with North, even just removing the AWPing sort of aspect as well that comes in, which is just as fun to discuss. But I want to see that kind of Kirby Dupree duo trying to deal with the rifling power now that sits with North, see how well they come into this. So I think there is small elements of mental games. You're playing against, you know, your own people, right? You know, you want to prove that you still are the #1 team in Denmark. Even if it's a small aspect of it, even if it's not like a big tournament, you still just for pride's sake, you want to make sure you're looking the better out of the bunch.
One of the cool parts of this year, for me personally, has been all these teams that have had roster changes. We get to watch them like progress over the first 3-4 months. Where do we feel this team is with integrating AZ? Is this going well so far? Is he playing an important role? Is he playing how we think he should be playing?
We've seen more out of AZ more recently. Initially, I think he felt a little bit out of place, you know, adjusting to roles and stuff. But I think that they're still a work in progress to integrate him correctly. The thing which interests me a lot about this team is how they're going to, both teams actually, neither have a natural secondary AWPer.
Yep.
Config picks it up occasionally for North, and then for Astralis, who have they got? You know, they don't have anyone who can pick up that
Sonic.
secondary AWP.
Yeah, they have Sonic.
So imagine if you're going up, Device just has an off game. The person who's bailed Device out in off games is Kirby, and he's a rifler. So if they have strats that start to heavily revolve around the AWP, making sure to get map controller used to get picks while running T strats, they're going to have a rough time substituting him with another player. So it's something to look out for in the future of Astralis, I think.
Yeah, I mean, luckily, I mean, at least Overpass and Nuke, those aren't necessarily two maps that are known for double up. Overpass maybe a little bit.
Yeah, you can do it on Overpass, but I mean more just him in the role of the AWPer, right? And one AWP is very important on Overpass. I agree with you. You might not necessarily need two. His AWP on outside on Nuke is very important as well. And T-side Nuke, never buy an AWP. You don't need one. That's just a tip for everyone playing.
Who was it that was buying an AWP on T-side Nuke?
World Edit keeps
Recently.
doing it. I know Device has one. He likes to go for that squeaky door pick. But that's the thing. If you're going to have that AWP, you want to go for an opening duel. It's much harder once the CTs get rooted in position. Once they're sitting underneath, you know, in all the doors and stuff. So hard to find an AWP pick.
So I remember one time, we'll do a little bit of story time. I remember at one event, Northern Arena in Toronto, actually, I talked to Valdi.
I thought we were going way back to the Jason
No,
archive.
not that far back. Talking to Valdi, though, one of the things he said is that he much preferred to play Astralis over North, just because, you know, the regional matchups with his team at the time was still heroic. But, you know, he just felt more confident going against Astralis, knowing how they play. This being a regional matchup, I mean, going into this, you obviously say Astralis is the favorite to win. But what exactly is there that's so difficult about the regional matchup, the teams that come from that same country?
Okay.
Either of you.
So let's
go.
look at a more recent kind of event that was meant to be happening or is going to happen. Copenhagen Games, right? It's a Danish event.
Yep.
Neither of the three top Danish teams are going.
Yeah.
Now you got to think about this for multiple reasons. Why would Astralis want to go when it means they could lose to North or Heroic? And then it's like, well, why do we even go? They don't have anything to gain by these events, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's the mental edge as well as what Lauren's putting in there of being the better team and the way that they can adjust their play style based off of knowing. I don't think they know how each other play better than, say, they know how someone from Virtus Pro plays or how Virtus Pro knows how someone from Fnatic plays. It's not like that anymore. I don't think it's, you know, we're not going to local LAN events together and playing in mixed teams anymore.
Yeah.
It's not like that at this point in time. I don't think at the pro level anyway. Maybe like lower amateur or semi-pro, you're going to see more of that because it's a bit more incestuous the way that players move around and play with each other. But at the top tier, I don't think it should be a non-issue in my mind, other than maybe the mental game.
I think there are small tendencies you can pick up on, you know, how players like to play, but as you said, I don't think it applies to one more than the other. But you do get that overlap just a touch. You know, Cajun B used to be part of this roster, you know, many moons ago now. It's like he's now got to face off against that primary AWPer that he used to kind of sit there and look at and be like, well, you know, Device is on this, how am I ever going to get a hand on it? You know, occasionally have those good maps, but I think you learn how players like to play, how they respond, but again, I don't think it applies beyond the fact that you'd still know about every other opponent you play on a regular basis. I think that you just want to prove a little more from it, but still, I think it's going to be actually closer than maybe on paper it should be. I'm just curious how it plays out.
I think they'll be more prepared on their opponent's maps. So you would assume that Overpass is Astralis's. It's not really pick the way the veto phase works, but I think Astralis is like their choice. Let's just go with that.
Yep.
And then North's would more so be Nuke. And I think they'll have done a lot of prep on how one another play the map and come up with some nice little nuances and ways to approach the holds.
I mean, that's the funny thing about Nuke is the Astralis' Nuke has been tested so frequently because it was one of those maps that's considered like middle of the pool. And they've been starting to win it because they've just been playing it so much. And now it's all of a sudden a very, very scary team on Nuke, I think. So that's going to be a very cool match to watch. I mean, speaking of some of these players, I know we're going to throw up the season stats of each of these teams up on the screen just because we can see, you know, Device has always been a very, very critical point to this team, but they also have people who can, you know, back them up. Caribou, we saw him at the major. Device had an off game in the grand finals of all times, and Caribou was there to really, really pick up that slack. So just some good performances coming out. Dupree, I think, is probably the most improved player we have on that Astralis side. 89 ADR, that's not a bad stat, leading the way for his squad, actually.
The thing for Dupree, like, he's always been a good player. It's just him stepping up in the really important games, which has kind of not been an issue, but he hasn't had those same performances that you'll see against a team in like a quarterfinal or something. And then for him to kind of break that omen, I suppose, in Katowice. Am I thinking of the right one? Yes, I am. Where he had the awesome clutch round on Nuke and then that Deagle round on Overpass. I think that would, you know, be amazing for his confidence in those big games.
I think the big thing for me there that was interesting was North's damage stats. I mean, they're not the be-all end-all, but it's just surprising to see them actually felt a little bit low. High 60s, mid 70s. I think was the highest was like 75 ADR per round. It feels a little low for a team with that much firepower on it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right, yeah, cool.
No,
No, but this is where it's really going to be that test. Cajun B going up against Forms team with the AWP, and then you have the young stars, Magisk and Config. This is going to be just very interesting because both of these teams play very similar style, map control based for these Danish teams. Any idea, I mean, outside of what you've already showed us in the tactical video that we played, of Magisk pushing up, any idea of like what these two teams are going to be able to bring to the table?
I think the game's going to be like the North CT side is going to be won or lost early, because if Magisk gets shut down and they work out what aggressive holds that they're aiming for, they mix it up quite frequently, so it's difficult to predict. But if they make the wrong call and Astralis somehow circumvent them, and it doesn't work out, then I think it's going to be difficult for them to keep that AWP up, to keep that Magisk aggression. It's going to be like, hey, let's not get picked off, and then they're going to go to holding bomb sites, and then they're like, well, the thing that works for us is not letting them execute, and then it's too late in the half to readjust. So the battle will be in that party and playground area. That's the thing that I'm going to look towards early. And then if I was North, I would look to get that sewer/water control as well. That's moved out of the meta, and the reason for that is because it's so difficult to hold that for the whole round. Sure, you can get it for the first 40, maybe 50 seconds if you're lucky. You're out of utility then, and you have to back off and play the sides. And that's why we've seen a shift away from it. Teams are just playing in the site and using their utility to actually stop the execute. But if I was North, I'd bring that out here and actually try and toy with Zipnix over towards that backyard B area as much as possible.
I mean, it is a very tactical map. I mean, and we have two of the better in-game leaders, MSL and Glaive now. I mean, these two guys have been stellar for both their squads.
Yeah, and it's been that constant story of MSL always surprising us that he's actually performing well as well. I know that's quite a weird story. It's like
Sensitivity conspiracy.
Well,
Sensitivity gate.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's like Glaive has been performing individually really, really well.
Yeah.
Like firepower alone he can keep up, which is quite impressive for an in-game leader who's also kind of employing these quite, not necessarily heavy tactics, but an involved calling style, right? Because talking to them before, Kerrigan was a little bit looser on the calling style, and actually, like, they wanted something a little bit stricter. He lost that impact they once had, and that's where kind of Glaive came in and he actually picked it up. But MSL's firepower, you can't underrate him. He's certainly there, but it's, can he go toe-to-toe at the moment? I don't know if you can against this. Everyone on that opposing side is going to be incredibly good. But as well, Astralis' T side is the thing, I think, that if North can shut it down, then we have a game on. I think everything becomes interesting on that point. But if you look at Nuke, their T side has been outstanding for Astralis, specifically. Have been incredibly good at their T side's fine. It's diligent, it's good, but it's their T sides. Yeah, well, Nuke is going to be exciting. But first up, we have Overpass. And to bring you that action, we have the #1 caster in esports, Henry G, and his sidekick, Sadicus.
I knew you were going to say that, Moses, last night as soon as the video was released and you tweeted back at Thorn. You're becoming predictable in your old age, I have to say.
There you go, got it back, at least.
I mean, what else can I say? Like, he's just throwing me under the bus. I didn't make the video. I didn't say it.
It's just a bit of fun. It's quite sensitive on you.
Well, it's just, I know Moses is very alpha, and he likes to bully people around him. And I'm not a beta, and I won't take it, Moses.
Oh, I'm glad we cleared that up. Let's move on, shall we, to Astralis versus North, the Danish Dynamite. It's quite a matchup, hot match of the week. And what are you feeling on this one? It's going to be Overpass. I think everyone's going to say on paper it has to be Astralis. North not looking too good recently in terms of like online form, LAN performances as well. Not amazing. Astralis obviously winning a couple of events now and looking very good, especially off the back of Katowice especially. But yeah, do you feel like North can actually step up here? It's got a chance?
Yeah, absolutely. It's online CS. I actually feel like North could win this. I mean, it is Overpass. I would favor Astralis on that all day long, but it's entirely possible and foreseeable that they make it work.
You think back to that grand final though, right? We think about Astralis versus FaZe. Astralis actually looked a little bit lost on Overpass, I have to say. It's not until Dupree stepped up with that massive Deagle round.
Which is rare, to be fair, yeah.
Yeah, right? Like, that was an ace of a Deagle. That's what got them back into the game, actually got them some money to work with that. That could have been the end of the game for them. Let's get into this one, shall we? It will be Overpass as our first map. Astralis on the T side here, 4 sets of armor, Glaive with the smoke and flashbangs, and going towards our water area. Config, though, will be battling towards Monster, and they're going aggressive on short as MSL. We know he's in good form recently. He opens things up with a headshot towards Kiabi.
It's true. AZ gets one on Dupree. He's got to watch a little bit to his right and left because the smoke's down on top of the site means there's a lot of places they can attack from, including over top of the smoke. That's the way they go for at least one kill. Device will pull back onto AZ, but Magisk gonna back away ever so slightly. Look at Device go, and then Glaive finds the shot of Magisk in the window, and it's Astralis to pick up a T-sided pistol.
Yeah, North actually getting aggressive towards B. 3 at the start there, 1 towards Monster, and 2 aggressively towards short. They find the first frag. It's a 4-on-4 at that point. It looked like they have the advantage of a Device. He starts going wild. They missed out on him last week at the Pro League, like we said, through Zonic playing instead of him, but he's back, and he's looking good. That 3 kills for him, and an interesting buy from Astralis here. 4 UMPs and 1 AK-47. There is going to be a force buy for North, but just 1 scout and 4 pistols. Not much in terms of grenades to work with here. A lot of teams will stack towards B, but it's quite a standard round as KGB goes towards connector here. Takes a little bit of nade damage there. Don't really have to work too fast there, Astralis. Just feel out the map a little bit, see if we can get some information. We know Astralis have to wait towards shore and do a lot of executes towards B, but no initial aggression here from the CTs really. As they're pretty long way towards connectors. Could be Zipex working towards monsters. He does a little bit of damage there towards config.
Waiting. Cajun patiently.
Yeah, he's normally going to get Molotov here, but he gets a chance here on Dupree. Make it Glaive, I should say. And he's going to be taken down. That's a 5-on-4. This should be the round tied up. Not really much I can do unless this scout from AZ, interesting enough, goes a little bit wild.
Config's looking... Try and get a deagle shot out toward through Monster. No one receiving it on the other side. Was trying to get damage onto Zipex, but he did not land a single shot. As MSL uses the same weapon to cover off Squeaky Door from the sandbag. Smokes down at long. This will take away a lot of information from the CTs, force them back inside of the A site, including that Magisk Boy, who now has to play with anticipation in the bathrooms rather than a read of exactly which direction they've gone. The one favorable situation for him is that Dupree's gone low, but he can't find the kill on the CZ toward Glaive and go on AZ now. That's far too easy, I'm afraid, with the scout in that angle.
Yes, indeed. It's going to be a clean sweep here. Just config waiting on this A site. Deagle in hand, very good with his weapon. Takes down the low HP player in the form of device there, but it's the bomb going towards B. So AZ can't do anything with the scout. Just to point out as well, if we have any new viewers, you can only buy the scout in the second round if you find at least one kill in that pistol round. He found 2, so he'll pick up the scout in the second round here. In case he didn't get a frag, he's obviously the main AWP/sniper rifle player, but he won't be able to pick up that weapon in the second round, just in case we have some new guys watching, you know. But,
just in case.
Just in case. It's nice to point out some trivia every now and then. Round number 3 comes in. This is fully go for North. Not really much you can do with this round. Maybe stack towards B and hope for a B rush to come in. It's quite rare these days, but they do send 3 players there, make it 4 and 5. So they have gone for it. They're just hoping the full-on B rush comes in from Astralis. It'd be a really risky move to take at this point for this very reason. You're into a stack. You give them a chance to find frags here. And Dupree, he's going fast towards the sandbox area. He's not going to give too much away here, but his teammate Zipex, he does make contact towards the barrel position.
Dupree. Quick taps in with the UMP. Should be pretty straightforward with no armor that the UMP is able to pick up some kills. Zipex is peculiar enough, goes back. He's a little bit cautious of the fact that someone might peek him from up closer, get flashed off perhaps. Not that there is one, but Device is going to be able to push all the way through.
Yeah, that's going to fall the back now.
Yeah, I mean, that's a nice shot though from Config. This is why Zipex is trying to pull back, because he's luring them away and keeping them in the B site. But the problem is, as soon as he gives them that much space, they start to attack Dupree now as well. But okay, he's up to the challenge. 3 kills, all headshots, all in the UMP. That'll give him a large amount of money. AZ will try and build up his own bank slightly before we do head into what will be round 4, the first gun round. Question is, though, is there enough for an AWP? Yeah, glass
Just
cannon.
about. It would be for AZ buying it, and he leaves himself with no armor. I don't think they go for it. I think this is 5 M4s all day long. So he's still yet to buy Config. He could have dropped one as well. They do go for the 5 M4s here. Chad pointed out on the desk as well, North like to show a lot of aggression towards that mid area, pushing towards the party position, especially Mages. They can get boosted up. They can try and push through all the way towards T-spawn as well. We'll see where that comes in. It'd be a good round to do it. They know Astralis have still got some residual SMGs in that position. So we do have a 1-player pushing here. This will be MSL. Molotov out towards that connector area. Not really much you can do here. If we look towards long as well, though, we have got Cajun B with Magisk Boys. What we talked about, relentless aggression on the CT side. Magisk won't push his angle, but he's baiting in his teammate. He'll be playing towards that rock position. But MSL is getting himself in a lot of trouble here. Goes down to 26 HP. And Magisk might get some contact here. You can hear footsteps on the other side. Flash comes in. Twice. Finds himself, though, unfortunately. But Cajun B will give them the man advantage. That was a little bit sloppy from the CT Terror side.
Backing to death. Cajun B gets caught by Kirby with a good shot on the AK. MSL tagged to 26, has to hold the angle in bathrooms and hope there's nowhere to trade immediately. He's got to fight his way out from this position. Does get an angle, but the M4, the more I see it in angles like that, where you've got to hit quick shots, it's just no match to the AK, especially when penetration comes into it. Has he clipped the wall?
Well, it's now a 3-on-2. No kits available. We have a smoke for Config. That's about it. They are separated right now. You can see the CD players. I mean, Config towards the B side, AZ alone on A. Either player needs to find multiple frags. It's very rare that terrorists will split up at this point, especially Kiabi on low HP as well. He'll be the bomb carrier for now. And they do have Dupree just baiting in towards the B side. This is quite nice. He smokes heaven, flashes in as well. He could be a sacrifice. He's just trying to show any sort of presence here. He won't commit at all. Quite intelligent play. That at least makes the CDs play 1 player towards that position at least. It can only be AZ on this side of the map now.
AZ gonna get smoked off though, and Zipix trying to come in from long. Bit of a gap, finds Kirby, that's bomb carrier as well. 12 seconds, they have to get that planted. Down goes Zipix, Dupree, the only one left, gets the first kill. 7 seconds, he should have time to plant, but he has to do so immediately. Thankfully for his sake, a smoke still exists on the inside of the truck. Config might be able to read that he's still there though, and easily picks up the kill.
Well, we said multiple frags had to come in from either CT player there at that point. It's AZ stepping up. Very good job, to be fair. We described that round as it was building up. It was the 3 versus 2. North had one player towards B, one towards A as well. Dupree shows presence towards the B side of the map. The smoke in heaven, the flashbangs coming in. That's the design to keep one player on that side of the map and just give them a 2-on-1 at least towards the A side. AZ gets it, but he manages to find both frags. Comes down to the 1v1. Config operating quickly there, pushing past the smoke, and there wasn't really much chance for the remaining terrorist player, who was Dupree. So it's a big round for North to pick up. Unfortunately, though, Matt, they only keep one player alive there, and a round they didn't have much money at all to work with. So they get $3,500 into this round after winning over bomb defused. But apart from that, it's not looking great. See 3 players with no grenades whatsoever. Mages, AZ, and Cajun B on a very utility-centric map. Don't really have much to work with. They have to go aggressive again and try and find frags. So you can see that's exactly what they're doing. 2 players towards long once more. Cajun B getting a more aggressive this time as well. Going to be flashed around the corner, but no one waiting for him. Actually just waiting for a flash. That's kind of funny. Both looking into the wall here. It's a bit of a risk, but it's going to be Config to find first contact here. Nails the first shot and the second.
Quite good, you would say. Making the third as well. Tags up Zipix down to 15. He'll rotate in toward his teammates at construction. Flash through. No dismay to the face of Config. He's able to survive it. Nearly gets through the smoke in time to spot yet another on Kirby. But him going down now is a bit of a problem because suddenly it's 3 versus 3. They rotate back over. But Dupree picking up MSL simultaneously means that Magisk is alone in the B site, at least temporarily, as they start to rotate around. A big flank as well coming in from Cajun B. So limit the access back to, okay, that doesn't. The A site. Kirby goes in, bomb will be planted. They now have it confirmed.
Yeah.
But this is the play. I mean, Cajun's been silent getting here, but at the same time, too much silence gives it all away. And which way does he go first? He's going to wait. That's the smart play. Finds Kirby. They now know he's there. Repeat, low HP. Zipix down as well. It's on to Dupree, and he's going to try and reverse this. Bombs planted inside of the pillar. Cajun's got 15. AZ's got 100. Do they consider this as a possibility? I think they have to. Yep, they do, because AZ goes immediately to check inside water, knows he was last spotted in that position. He's already cleared the rest of the site.
I was just about to point out as well, they didn't have a kit in that 2 versus 1. That made things really problematic. AZ does pick one up. We said they had to go aggressive at the start of the round, and what an idyllic way to start it as well. Config towards that monster tunnel position. He finds 2 AK frags and picks up the round. A much needed one at that. We said that would be a full reset for North. Comes down to Dupree. Alone in 2 versus 1, but Cajun B, like we said at the start, very patient throughout that round. He's waiting towards long for so long there, and then goes all the way through T-spawn, walking the entire way, and it pays off. Manages to find 3 frags in total. The last one especially with 15 HP. Very impressive. And this is what we're talking about, that aggression once again towards middle. It's Mage's boy, this time with an AK, feeling confident. Gets the first kill as well. It's a headshot towards KRB. His teammates there to back up from long as well. This is very impressive stuff from North.
Impressive. Cajun. They mentioned that on the desk as well, how much Magisk likes to take over that position. Meanwhile, Config, on the side of that duo, sprays down another 2 over at B, spots up Glaive entering. AK does win the duel in the end, but Glaive now, with 1 kill, has 4 more to find in what was a 1 versus 5. Getting the bomb down will continue the money flow for Astralis. It's not going to be great in the next round, but they would now be on a 3rd round bonus with the $800. Glaive's doing damage as well. He's picked up another kill on MSL. He's still reasonably healthy at 48, and Magisk is low, 15, but he can't get the reload and drop into the smoke in time to conceal himself.
Wanted to get in there like a ninja with the smoke bomb, but unfortunately, as he's reloading, gets taken down there. It's going to be North tying things up. That's exactly what Chad pointed out in his little video there in the pre-game. It's the aggression towards middle. When Mages gets an AK-47 as well, he's going to be even more willing to take those duels at the start. He gets the first kill, takes the aggro towards the party area. Just as he does it as well, his teammates are pushing ground towards that long position, actually giving him some backup as he falls back. Really nice play from North. Config once again stepping on that B side, finds another 2 entries that the T's execute towards the B side. So very promising stuff from North here to tie the game up. 3-3. Like I said, money wasn't going to be great for Astralis into this round. Still enough for just about of a buy. It's going to be 2 AK-47s, Tech 9s, and UMP, and Mages once again aggressive towards middle. That's a B-sided play from Astralis here. Mages does spot towards top of middle, doesn't get much for it, but Glaive will be challenging somewhat, but decides to fall back. The thing is, right now, it's quite obvious that Astralis is going towards B. We look at the minimap, right? We've got Mages top of middle, MSL towards the connector, they've got all the information they need right now. There's nothing coming towards the A side of the map. That's interesting because Config's alone towards B. 4 players now towards short, and they have got smokes to execute here.
The other interesting aspect of this is because there hasn't been contact on B, although now there will be, they're rotating back through A, which is the longer way. You wouldn't expect to push up that far. Maybe they try and go down through the stairwell at connector. So Xyp9x gets configured away. It's now a retake onto the B site. Bomb being planted. They still have the weapons in their advantage. Kits on 3. That's about all they have. dupreeh re-smokes window as well. Less vision, less information on the way through. Makes it a little bit awkward when they have to start pressing in and take advantage of the time. They'll go for this. Flash is well placed, but dupreeh finds one. Xyp9x is able to trade it. Kiarvi slips out undetected. They'd already overlooked that position, and he and Xyp9x are able to close out the round.
Yeah, I found that one quite weird from North overall. Like we pointed out, they had top and middle, they had connector covered, and at that point, that's all the information you really need to ascertain it's going to be a B-sided attack. They were kind of hoping for the rotation to come in from Astralis at that point, I guess, but it's Config alone there. He's been great towards that B-side so far. That was a little bit too easy for Astralis. He had to get multiple frags there, doesn't find a single one, and that retake's going to be an absolute nightmare there for North. Did Astralis actually finding some success there with the force buy? Only 2 AKs into that round. It's actually shut down North's economy. They go into round number 8 with Deagles, CZs, and a UMP. Just made this boy with the rifle here. He has to go aggressive once again. Not towards middle this time, towards connector. But Xyp9x, he opens things up, and it's an aggressive play from the CTs, but he takes both of them down with a Chris headshot.
Good shot from Cajun as well onto dupreeh. Cajun's looked all right in this game, I have to say. Sits on 7. Actually, naked 8 as he gets Glaive and the bomb at that, which will now be able to secure the round. Watch for a pop flash down, similar to what we see on Pop Dog. Smoke behind him to make sure, because they don't have full coverage of top middle, he doesn't get pushed. Some fairly even fragging from AZ Config and Cajun. It's 1 and 2 kills though from MSL and Magisk respectively. They're struggling behind. 2 HP as well for MSL this time. He's gonna get locked out. But he at least has the information that water's controlled, so top of middle is the only place they don't have information to cover off Cajun from. And I think he may start to back off slightly. Actually, he's gonna hold ground. I thought he'd back off slightly in that bomb. And now,
he's got Majors
they'll
back
get, exactly,
right, so.
Magisk can see down from the front of the bathrooms. And, ooh, that is a very impressive shot. Now Cajun, thankfully he's picked up another smoke. We already saw him deploy one. Has to consider that. They go down, 1, 2, easy trade, easy pickup, 4 kills for Cajun. He's going to look for the ace, and there's a very good chance that he'll find it as well. Knows exactly where Device is. And he backs off to change the angle accordingly. Molotov should limit Device's options, but he's got it down to the 1 versus 1. So he's got 2 in the round. Time, 17 seconds. Molotov, no. Oh no, no way! He had 1 tick to hit on 2 HP on Device. He's Molotov'd himself. Device now has the bomb to go to the B site, and Config's gone the wrong direction. He's got there in time. He thinks the time's gone.
Yeah.
Plant comes in. Cajun's got to go hunting for the ace now.
Oh, that's so sad to watch. What an amazing round that was from Cajun. He had that
so
tied up, he
smart.
lands that Molotov, it's round over. Device can't touch it, he can't even go near the bomb. And now it's for Cajun, he still wins the round. Thank God for that, but that was a little bit dicey. The ace comes in.
I mean, the 2 HP gave him a chance in that situation. I'm sure he knew he was tagged up, but yeah, that can always get awkward, especially when he sits back at the park and thinks, okay, I'll wait and see if he even has time to plant. I just want to stay alive in case he's hunting me. And then he's got to go that far. He has no information as to where Device goes.
Well, he still wins the round, so no harm, no foul in that respect. This was so good from him. You can see at this point, Astralis had to make the commitment. It's Device, he's called, I'm smoked out, we've got 30 seconds remaining, you guys need to go for this bomb. They throw 1 flash bang down, it's not enough to actually blind him. He finds 2 kills, 1 by 1, that's all they can really do in that situation. There's hoping he misses a shot and he doesn't instantly kill that first player, maybe they can get the refrag. Doesn't happen, and North win, I guess, a force by himself. I think they have 4 pistols and 1 AK. So we'll go into round number 9 here. It's Cajun B with the AWP. Money's still weak, and he doesn't hit that first shot. That's why he's still trying to open things up for his teammates there. Doesn't happen, as he'll be falling back. It's going to be a famous for Majors Boy and MSL on AZ on the UMPs here. So still anyone's game in terms of who can take round number 9 here. Open the hands of Device as well. He's towards middle as the CTs reposition themselves towards long. It's Majors Boy getting baited into that one and done position. It's going to be Cajun to go take the first shot, as you can see right now. He'll be falling back towards APC as soon as he takes it, and Majors Boy there to be kind of baited in a little bit by Cajun B and hopefully get him a multiple spray down with that SMG.
Xyp9x backs. AZ, meanwhile, continue to look into construction position as they get closer to the doorway. It's definitely a close affair in terms of economy, not only just because it's been the back and forth in the last two. It's the way the rounds are being won. There's been plants in all 4 of the rounds north of 1, by the way. Keep that in mind. Config again will spray down and hold Monster. He's done well there. When he gets, careful of the switch. Device will open it back up, gives him a chance to walk in, but AZ will control. Debris to get him, but I think the situation's fairly well covered off considering he's just got an op and a Tech 9, and yeah, okay, an op's great. It's not the best position to be in with it with 17 seconds and them rotating over on top of him.
Yeah, he knows he's not going to win that round. It's Config once again, stepping up in that B side. Just as Astralis go in, he always seems to be in the right position at that point. Normally plays towards the barrels, but obviously he would be molotoving him out of that position, goes towards Monster and gets another 3-man spray down. Great work from him. Dupree, not known for his AWPing prowess, he will be falling back, and you've got one of the world's best AWPers on your team. You're going to be limited in this round in terms of economy, but give him that weapon, you just boosted your chances somewhat. So we'll see what he can do. As we get to round number 10, here's the replay. Great flashbang from Config there, just spraying through the smoke to find 3 kills. So, North do manage to stabilize themselves. They've actually got a decent buy here. No SMGs, they've got the AWP recovered as well. And there's an AK for 2 players. That's MSL and Magus Boy. So, they're going to be continuing to push towards mid. It seems Magus will be concentrating towards the steps area. Occasion be towards connector as well. Occasion, he's got the AWP. And the player, he fumbles the jump a little bit there. This could cause him to go down. He just about gets away with a backup from Magus Boy there. And he's going to get the multiple spray down. 2 kills found and the smoke deployed as well to give him a little retreat plan there.
Yeah, retreat plans are nice. Device, good find him a Jisk though, as he tries to get back inside of the bathrooms. The only weapon they have. Now has to do all of the work. The last round was the first, I just finished saying, it was the first that a bomb wasn't planted for Astralis. And they still kept a player alive, which is why the economy is so back and forth, which is why this round, if Device can continue to pick them apart, plays a massive...
Yeah.
Or has a significant value in the context of the match.
Yeah, even if they don't win the round, if he finds 2 or 3 kills, that's still going to keep North on the ropes. But we get into the 1-minute mark here. Device only finding 1 kill this round so far. They go back towards long. It obviously makes sense. Get him on the flower bed position. Flashbang comes in as well. Thinks better of it. Glaive decides to face first, and MSL will be blinded by that. 45 seconds now. Zipex is waiting towards B, hoping that a player gets aggressive at this point, but very controlled play from North, not giving much away here. Deploying their smokes at this point, around the 30-second mark, that's perfect. You're going to hold Astralis out for even longer in case you have a cheeky little angle here towards middle. The bottom will head up towards B. They've got 1 smoke and 3 flashbangs to work with here. Is it going to be enough to find anything against this boost? I don't think so. This boost is almost perfect at this point. It's looking very good. Or not.
Good indeed, until Device does get there with the op. Zipex goes down, that's bomb. Just a forced Glaive, even though he's got the AK to work with, the plant, and have Device hold him off on just 15 HP. But again, it's the op, and Device finding another 3rd kill for him. Glaive will get 1, so Device this time, similar to last, has to go 1 versus 1, this time with MSL, and a low HP to do it with. But again, it's the AWP. Head shows, MSL finds it. Another clutch for North, but another 1 versus 1 situation.
Yeah, we said even if they don't win the round, as long as they keep finding multiple frags, it's going to be absolutely fine. Device with 3 in total. They get the bomb down as well. They're a 3rd stage loss bonus. They could force into this if they want to. They know the money's weak for the CT, so keep buying those Tech 9s. Just keep trying to find an opening in that respect. I think of this. Okay, they are going to go for it. I was going to say maybe that's not the best idea, but excuse me, it's going to be 3 UMPs, 2 Tech 9s, and this is exactly what they want to go for here. They win this round. They break the bank of North. It's a bit of a risk. Could open up the window to allow North to get 7-4 here, but 2 Tech 9s, 3 UMPs. They have got the utility to work with. Back towards short we go. It's going to be Dupree with the UMP here first, and 3 players towards B for the CTs. North not giving too much away at the start of this round. Obviously, Occasion B back on the AWP. He's actually gone all the way towards end of long, and there's a real nice flashbang. That's so nice from AZ, looking for the 4-man.
Oh,
he
wow.
gets it as well. There'll just be 1 player surviving for Astralis, and that's Device.
I know it's an eco spray down, but it's just so pretty when those line up for you.
Well, yeah.
Could you say when the stars align, considering it was Astralis?
That's true. That's actually quite good. Yeah, that works. Well, that was actually a force buy, to be fair, and that's a big round for them. If they lose that round, they're going to be fully eco themselves. So that's actually kind of massive from North there. A real nice flashbang comes in. AZ can't believe his luck. A 4-man spray down. Very nice stuff indeed. And that's going to be another force buy. Okay, not a force. This is a partial buy from Astralis. So a maximum loss bonus. So I got a bit ahead of myself. A team knife coming in there.
Yeah, I just heard that. Why did that happen?
Right click to the back of your teammate. Not bad. Takes him down to like 30 HP at the start of the
I think
round.
it was 39. Yeah, that's actually significant. That's so frustrating. It's such a bad habit. It's one of the things, like, you know, the face-it systems and whatnot create so that no one control, but it gives these people this, like, habit. You can pick up from it just because the well at the end to swing both ways. This habit of always knifing and expecting no consequence.
Yeah.
And then it's not, obviously they know in these games, there's the lineup for you. This fourth shot's actually pretty good because that's a very small target at the back. Obviously they know that, but you just accidentally click it, you get too comfortable doing it, and it's like, ah, wait, misclicked, sorry. You know, momentary lack of judgment.
Yeah, it happens quite a lot, actually. I seem to remember myself saying that a lot at tournaments recently. Anyway, it's going to be round number 13 here. 8-4 in favor of North. They've won the half. It is a CT-sided map. Occasion B, once again, aggressive towards long. He's going to have some confrontation this time, though. One player looking to just run out. It's going to be Glaive, and he gets taken down. Lovely work there from Cajun. Not going to be falling back just yet. Device looking to get the refrag here, but he's not going to get it. That's a really nice incendiary drop. Buys him a lot of time to fall back and reposition. This is good stuff from Cajun, and even better from MSL as he challenges towards Connector and finds Superi.
Zipix. Through Monster. Great video made by HLTV of his 13, which they officially declared. Clutches in Katowice, we didn't see it off camera. Thanks, Rushley. Config will take down Zipix, but Device is going to start to push up long bomb. Still a bathroom. Nice shot from Cajun. Catches him jumping, and that's Kierby's best chance, his only friend left of getting in toward the A site. MSL will pop out and take down him in bathrooms, and it was very close. It was back and forth, but now suddenly, very quickly, it's all fallen apart because the money got left to dry for Astralis.
Yeah, it was 4-3 at one point in favor of Astralis after winning the pistol, getting that 3-0 as well. North, as pointed out, we expect them to be aggressive on the CT side here. It's a Danish derby. Both these teams know how each other play, and they're rising to the occasion here. Occasion B especially looking very good. He's won some pivotal rounds. That eco buy towards the connector position as well. Managing to find that ace against Device. That was huge. And now Astralis really clutching at straws here. 4 AKs, a Tech 9, and little to no grenades. A big nade comes in. Zipex feels the brunt of it as he goes under 47 HP. This is kind of looking grim for Astralis here now. And Zipex falls back. Config's waiting for him once again. He's just been a monster towards the B side of the map, looking to take on any challenges put in front of him. It's going to be back towards middle, and Kiabi opens things up. Now something to work with here as they got the 5-on-4 advantage. Not for long.
Good shot by Cajun to take down Kiabi. Zipix. Wait it out. In fact, gets taken down. But watch Cajun. I was curious as to position that was going to end set up for a crossfire and how far Astralis would even get considering the low utility. They've got one flash left to work with. Bombs down. They've got to commit to it. That's too easy. A bit optimistic, I think, from Glaive to try and just crawl into it. And MSL hits a lovely shot to end it. It's now 10-4, and Astralis will have very little leftover force, obviously, for the last round of the first half.
North do hit the double digits, and it has to be a force buy from Astralis to finish things off here. UMP ×2, couple of AKs here, Tech 9 for Glaive, and they haven't really brought much to this first map. They've won the pistol, got the 3-0. They've won a single gun round since then. They've been shut down ever since. Config especially looking great. So is Cajun B. MSL finally opening frags across the board. This is looking great from them. We said in Pro League recently they've had a bit of a rough time. The events haven't been great. Device though, he's striking back. 10-5, still a very reasonable half. Don't get me wrong. It's still a CT-sided map, but overall from what we've seen, it's still very good for North.
Good pick. Easy, not the most efficient, so he had to be a little bit careful. Just snuck in behind the corner of the wall. Controlled peek. Config. Here we go.
Yep. Come on.
Gets the information from AZ, goes through the smoke. Bye-bye Dupree, and immediately goes, I'm out, see ya.
That's normally what Zipex plays as well. He's got to be a little bit red-faced at that point. Dupree goes down just as he moves post. But okay, 4-on-2 just like that. It was Device to find that open kill towards MSL, but it really fell apart. And now we go into Zipex with a UMP, looking to upgrade to an AK here at this point. They've lost the bomb as well. He's being very wary. He knows Config pushed out, but he's got the intel now. It should be clear as he recovers that bomb, hoping to bait out a CT. Maybe just because it's there, but he wouldn't have heard that bomb being picked up just yet. He's just waiting for the rotation to come in, basically.
Yeah. Issue is that, okay, they've smartly left Cajun over toward A, that they did leave connector open in the stairwell. So hence why Magisk isn't overly comfortable with just sitting back. He knows there's other places they can go, wants to get a little closer. Time going down, very easy to line that up. Thank you very much.
Incendiary on the bomb as well. Buys him another 8 seconds, and Glaive pretty much round over, but that's a nice shot to kick things off. Gives away his position, unfortunately. He can't go back towards A now with the bomb, has to go towards B. If he wins this, it's an absolute miracle, and Config, he's not seeing any of that today. He's had an absolutely amazing half here on the CT side of Overpass map.
Yeah, I would agree. I actually think he's been fantastic holding down Monster. I think the dynamics they had over toward B were great. It took them a while to get economy in their favor. Once they did, no looking back. So North 11-4. Astralis, you mentioned it struggled against FaZe in the final at Katowice. So they're struggling here online. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back. So North end up 11-4. AZ, impressive until, you know, that moment on the A side. But it was B that Astralis, I think they got a little bit addicted to based on success and kept going back toward it. All of a sudden, this was a good round from Cajun, to be fair. Got the ace in the end, but it was Config just mowing them down time and time again toward the monster tunnel.
Rough half for Astralis there. I have every bit of confidence they can bounce back. If they win the pistol, it's game on. We have a really exciting series, I'd say, on our hands here. But to be fair, tonight has been lackluster games. It's been like some stompies at a 16-2 and a 16-5 in the first matchup there. I'm hoping Astralis get the pistol here. Maybe we can start seeing a little bit more exciting game, you know, as we get into the second half. Look at the buys coming in. I think I see a Tech9 purchase as well. So it's going to go off with a bang. It's Cajun B who will be the Superman here. As we get to round number one. One smoke for MSL. He dropped the Tech 9. And here we go then, map. 5 sets of armor for Astralis. That means no defuse kit and no smoke to hold anything off at the start. And when you have a Superman buy, like the Tech 9 and Cajun B, it means you're just going in somewhere very quickly indeed and allowing him to mow them down. He's got a little bit of cannon fodder there at the front, and they'll just be rushing B straight up.
Zipex does find one. Tripped over Dupree ever so slightly. Did damage on him, perhaps more than what they did. Him to start it off. Good shot on Config as he jumps across, hits the headshot. Problem is Dupree's only able to get one before they converge from either side onto him. Flank in. Cajun's read that very well. Picks up a kill. Immediately the Tech 9 tags Caribbean as well. 8 HP. I'd say you're right. That could be it in the round.
Yeah, he's got no kit, no nades. He might as well save the armor, really. He'll try and do what he can here, but it's 3 kills occasion B, so that Tech 9 forced by, well, I guess Superman buy coming in has paid dividends, and Kiabi, he's going to be really desperate to get anything going whatsoever. They know where he is. He hasn't got a kit. He's trying to get an extra $300 if he can, but it's Cajun B with another huge round there. 4 kills in total, and the rush B prevails. It was actually Zipex doing great work. He finds the initial kill. He's staying alive for a long time there. Gets 2 in total. Forces rotations from his teammates as well. He's trying to buy as much time as possible, doing really well until Cajun B stepped up and became a monster. He finds his 21st frag there. Very impressive stuff. Astralis now with no other option but to force buy into this one. We can have 5-7s, CZs, and a Deagle, a couple of Deagles, and a couple of smokes. North, that's very promising now. They've been boot camping recently from what I believe as well, from that lovely stadium.
Yeah, that's true, in the FC Copenhagen Stadium, which goes without saying is in Copenhagen. That'd be a cool environment to sit in boot camp there. Not only that, just have access to a great venue such as that. I'm sure they get some access to the gyms, etc. Probably get to check out a few matches. I was going to say games, but I think matches is the correct football term. So set up deep inside of the site. A stack toward A. They're all rotating back, so they'll all be close by. Down goes Device. Kiabi each with kills, but now it's uneven. Unanswered. Zipex will pick up the bomb. that gives them a chance. Zipix through the smoke. It's got it down to a 1 versus 1.
Here we go.
It's Zipix, after all. Backs away, trying to spot the head jumping across or potentially pushing onto him. Cajun's already got the bomb, though, and Zipix will allow it. He wants to try and let him to plant and then capitalize, but Cajun, he's going to try and sneak away with this.
Zipix, something about him in clutch situations. You always think he's going to pull something out the bag here. Unfortunately, though, he has lost track of Cajun. He may try and upgrade to weapon, even if the bomb goes down towards B. He can still rotate, of course, but his percentage chance of winning the round goes down dramatically at this very point now. Bomb towards B, he has no kit, only has the 5-7 and low HP. There was a bit of a chance if Cajun decided to stay towards A, but now Zipix, we saw him there just trying to pick up an AK-47, can't find it, decides to go back. Still has a chance, but every second he's not fighting Cajun B, his chances of winning the round go down significantly.
Bomb found, obviously, on the site, but not until after he spots Cajun B back toward the grill.
3 kills once again for Cajun, by the way.
Yeah, he's been having a consistent game as well. Not quite as flashy. Missed that Molotov and that, but still got the ace in that one round where he helped bomb, and he was quite smart about it. He played off his teammates very well. As mentioned, as well, get that second smoke down in the tunnels, but that's in the past. Now it's just 3 rounds to go for North. Astralis have to sit once more with pistols and trying to defend this.
5 USPs. Not really much you can do here. It's going to be a similar approach to what we saw from North in the early stages of the first half. Stack towards B. Hope they rush. Could work out for them. You can see 3 players outside the B position with the bomb as well. They will not be rushing, though, as 1 player goes up towards long. That's MSL. He's got the MAC-10. Even if he goes down, that's not a massive deal. If he spots his 2 players towards A, he can at least give an educated guess to say, okay, B should be clear. You guys are ready to go. I've gone down with nothing. There's 2 players here. They've only got the MAC-10. You should be good to go on the other side of the map. If he finds nothing, he'll call them to come back. It's a very simple process, but one that's very effective. And he's done it. So you can see on the minimap right now in the top left, they'll be starting to rotate back towards A. MSL gets in a position where he stops rotations from CT spawn as well from that B bomb site. He might go for a couple of kills here as well. Why not? He gets $600 a piece, and a very influential part of the game here. So he's locked off the choke points, called it a full B stack, and they should be absolutely fine.
If it was one of the UMPs, he might just hold off. MAC-10 going into the next round against armored players, not as important. Thank you for the information.
Hello.
Thank you for the information. Buy 1, buy 2. You gotta know there's a 3rd one in there somewhere. Thank you very much for the money.
That's great.
Dog, tell me he gets an ace with a MAC-10. How rich is MSL gonna be?
Money, money, baby. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's what you always say. Cajun got, Cajun got glaive at least, so not the full ace, but $600 times 4, Henry.
Yeah, and they're really high rolling right now.
It's $2,400. I had to do the math, sorry.
There you go. It's very impressive. That's beautiful stuff from MSL. We kind of built it up exactly what he's doing there, but to pull it off like that and get 4 kills on a MAC-10, not much of a better situation he can be in right there. He actually throws away the MAC-10. He thinks, okay, I've got so much money here. Let's just get match point right here, right now. They can do something fast here. Molotov towards short. They know the CT's going to be limited. Device does have the AWP, and you've got a deagle in that second round, but the rush comes in. It's Dupree to challenge here, and he has to fall back. He's Molotov out of position as well, and MSL looking ruthless as he takes a headshot, and he's going to be firing back. It's AZ to open things up.
Fix gets AZ. But MSL still playing around the pillar to try and get some information to spot heads on rotation. Smoke goes down from his teammates. He's able to relocate deeper inside of the site as a result. He's got the bomb, so he has to go back to plant. When he does so, just how do his teammates approach? They still had smoke down to get underneath the window. They don't go quite as aggressively toward it. There was a small gap, flash through. Glaive doesn't know it, tries to find, but just nearly gets away. That would have been big to give them a post-plant advantage. Cheeky little boost as well to get above the smokes. And while this is all going on, it was going to be a flank to come in. That's gone. Device forced off the situation. North's going to find themselves on map point. And Overpass is going to need...
Get wrecked.
Overpass is going to need some work from Astralis if this is the case. I don't feel like calling it an off night.
To be fair, that's a really rough round for them, right? So you've got 3 players without head armor, device, glass cannon as well. You're lacking grenades. North know that situation's coming in. You made them force behind that second round, which is seeing a lot of teams move away from these days for that very reason. The T's, if they have a really successful second and third round, they rush them in like B. You haven't got the utility to hold them off. If you do have an AWP, it's normally going to be aggressive on the other side of the map. So it's just a great round for North overall. 80 opened things up, and now here it is, match point. When you to Pro League, we have 2 maps in each matchup like this. So Astralis and North play 2 maps, but each one contributes towards the league here. So you can't tie the series up, is what I'm basically trying to say. 2 UMPs, a MAG-7 for Dupree, and 2 pistols. You feel like the game's going to end right here, right now. And even if it doesn't, it's just evading the inevitable. We'll see what happens here. KLV towards party with that aforementioned SMG. MSL, though, seems to be aware this could be a possibility, and he's got his crosshair in the right position, so does AZ, and they should be taking him down here. At least a refrag, but it's going to be a clean kill.
Clean's one word for it.
An execution, maybe?
No, that's fine. That,
Getting toasty.
Oh, that's so close. I don't think it's gonna make it. He's fine. Device likes it hot anyway. He sneaks back around, and Magisticus, I think that's clear. Gets the jump on him nearly. Does damage on MSL, and AZ was behind him. He took MSL to 23 and AZ to 65 on the UMP. How does Dupree elect to get back into this equation? Because he can start to push behind them. He would have nearly been spotted as they sneak into the B site. Oh, this could lead them directly toward him, you know. The fact that Config's gone down Monster, he's going to realize B's open. Here we go. They're heading back down. Dupree's just waiting with the shotgun.
Yeah, it's not the best position for it, but if they overlook it, maybe he can get one kill here. That's if they go towards shore. I think they have a couple of players in connector as well, but it'll make a footstep and fall back.
The issue with it is that he hears the bomb coming around from T-spawn, and he thinks that means they're all heading that direction. He actually left what was a better position than him getting caught, obviously, in transition. Good pick up from Config to close it off, and that's the game. That's the game, Henry.
That is the game, and sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles. It's Astralis going down 16-4 there on Overpass. No one could have really predicted that. It's we said that they looked a little bit weak at Katowice against FaZe in this one. It took a huge round from Dupree to get them back into it. They didn't really arrive there at all. Let's remember as well, the first time they got the 3-0 going as well. They won one gun round in total there. North looked dominant. Config, for me, MVP, especially in the first half. Cajun B looked amazing throughout that entire series as well. So very happy with his performance. No one really arriving for the other Danes, Astralis, whatsoever. Very quiet on their side.
Very quiet indeed. We've seen some interesting results for the teams number 1 and number 2 in the world this evening. We'll send it over to the desk to see what they think about it. It's over to the best desk. I don't know what I'm saying to you, Moses. Sorry.
Nice.
Nailed it, as always. Yeah, this is interesting day of Counter-Strike. All the matches look phenomenal on paper, but we've had 3 blowouts so far. That's a 16-4 win for North against Astralis, which is very surprising to see that occur. Yeah, first ranked team, Astralis gets blown out. Second ranked team, Virtus Pro gets blown out. This is just weird.
Yeah.
Everyone loves blowouts.
Don't look at me.
That could have been really cool.
Yeah.
That could have gone.
Cool's,
Yeah, that could've
cool's an interesting way to phrase it.
Could have gone lots of ways with that.
Yeah, phenomenal.
I agree with Henry about the Config being the MVP of the first half. The way that he was able to shut down any aggression to that B site, taking dry jewels at Monster. He's just peeking with an AK, and there's multiple members from Astralis. They're not expecting it. He's able to get 2 kills and damage another one severely. He was doing a fantastic job, and it didn't look characteristically like the normal Astralis kind of pacing. The execute that I've been over is normally their bailout, but they didn't look like they ever really got that going. A bit unfortunate for them.
Yeah, I mean, this is now tough, Lauren, because like, where can you actually, what conclusions can you make off these matches? Even the VP versus Fnatic, when the blowouts like this, like, is there anything you can take away from this and say this is now maybe a scary tendency or a scary trend?
It depends what storyline you want to attach to it, right? You can go down the, oh, it's just a regional match, or oh, it's only VP online. There's so many things you can attach to these sort of results, and it also takes away a little bit from what actually North just did, was actually just spank Astralis. Every single player, a lot of the win conditions that you would put towards that match came through. A couple of players, MSL had a great game as well, even individually, just keeping up. Cajun B, a name you can't go without saying, outdid Device consistently. Device barely got an open in his hands throughout that game, even though Astralis won those first 3 rounds. Beyond that, they struggled to get much more going for themselves. So it was quite surprising, to be fair, to see it going that dominantly that way.
The thing that I've liked about tonight's game so far is the teams who have got dominant leads have managed to get the pistol and then convert, or, get into the game straight away on that second half. We haven't seen the other team mounting a comeback. Cajun B had like a Snacks-esque performance. I think, what did he go, 27 and 6? He's only dying 6 times. That's the whole game.
Weird. That's like the Cajun B when he first joined the roster and went on that huge spike through performance. It was like, where's this guy been that whole time? We saw him in Dust 2 for a while. He became like the monster of that entire map. Yeah, the cleaner came out, right? The chance came out. It was all this sort of stuff about this guy, and he was having these huge plays. So it's nice seeing him find that, maybe proving a little bit of a point as well. Barely had a chance to play against his old team, wants to prove a little something for himself there, comes in with that mindset. If you're Astralis, you've got everything to lose in this matchup, right? You win it, oh, you've done what you're supposed to do. For them, it's a little bit more pressure.
Well, and also, they're one of the teams, I think even North actually is, but this is going to bode well for North, obviously, but they're 2 of the teams that are right outside that top 6 in the standings at the moment, right? Sitting right outside the playoffs. So this loss actually could be critical for Astralis down the stretch. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Is this just an off day from them? I mean, this isn't something that we obviously have seen them be so good in tournaments. This has got to just be like a one-off day, maybe a one-off game. We'll see if they can bounce back.
I think Nuke, there will be recovery. I genuinely do. I think that'll actually go Astralis' way, in my opinion. But yeah, it's a weird one.
Yeah, I mean, you'd hope so, because this is actually a very intriguing matchup on Nuke, of all things. If we remember, North, going back to when Nuke was just reintroduced in the map pool, North was probably the first team to have that status as the best Nuke team in the world after their performance at Epicenter with some big wins there. And then VP and later on NIP for some time took that away from them. But Astralis is now very intimidating on this map as well.
Yeah, and that comes down to their way that they can approach the map with devices. Or they can use it at ramp. You know, he likes to drop underneath, come up secret, take a pick from there. He's very diverse with that on the outside area of the map, which is very difficult to deal with. VP have been able to negate him very well in the past with some smoke grenades and that kind of stuff. But Magus was very quiet for North in that first game. It wasn't like they were going A as much as they were going towards that B side. But his aggression on the T side is something else, you know, that we can look for. We're probably going to do a pre-show on Nuke, I suppose.
Yeah, we don't have to go too deep.
I don't want to get. I was in the
There's a lot
mode.
to be said about that.
The music really snapped you back out of that.
Yeah, I was like, well,
Chad in line.
shut the hell up and let's throw to a break.
Yeah, on that note, we'll just go to a break.